Hello there, welcome to Sightline. Today I have Mr. Akin Ikichin. He is a painter and also a lawyer. He opened his first solo foreign exhibition here in Mongolia. So hello, Mr. Akin.
Hello, I'm very happy to see you and interview with you here.
And for me it's really interesting why you decided to open your first foreign solo exhibition here in Mongolia.
Oh, it's a very interesting question. Mongolia is a very important country for me, especially as you know, we Turks comes from this land to the west side of today we are living in Anatolia, we are origins and ancestors comes from these lands. We also both Turkish people and the Mongolian people has the same origin. Also, they live in the same country, some lands many years ago. Turkish ambassador, Mr. Ahmet Yazal, is my family friend also, and also and his supposed Mrs. Zeynep Yazal following my arts many years. For many years, and they were talking about me if there any possibility and occasion in Mongolia, we would like to invite you to expose your exhibitions in Mongolia. So actually last year there was a chance, but it wasn't happen for any reason, and then this year with the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between Mongolia and the Turkish Republic, and there was a ceremony about this special event, and by using this occasion they invited me to expose my solo exhibition here and for the celebration of this 50th anniversary. So it was very proud for me, and I honored, and I accept this offer with my very good, sensitive emotions and proud. It was very proud for me to be here for these occasions, to exhibitions in here.
Okay, and I think that the theme of this exhibition is really important for you too. And can you tell us more about the theme and more about the exhibition, please?
Sure. The theme of this exhibition is stories from a traveler to a traveler. In my own belief, every single person is a traveler in their own life. This travel means, actually, this theme has two different means. A travel as a sentence or word has different two meanings. One of them is a physical travel, moving from some place to another place by any vehicle, by car, by train, by plane, by ship, or riding an animal over an animal. It's a physical kind of travel, physical kind of journey. But the second one, maybe the important than the first one, is the emotional traveling. What does means the emotional traveling? Emotional traveling, to travel, a people travels inside of him, inside of them, by emotional, non-physical. If you mix two types of the journey, it means a physical journey and or emotional journey, which is inside to the human body, human mental body, and you will reach a point that you can product your own stories. When I start painting, I tell about one story into my canvas. And I feel that whenever a viewer or watcher, see my artworks, they interpret it their own stories on my canvases.
By owning themselves?
Yeah, by themselves. And actually, I feel that my stories converted to another people's stories into my canvases. It was very exciting for me. So I decided that I'm a traveler in my own life voyage, and every single person has also traveler and travel experience in their own life.
Okay, great. And I thought about when you said about the emotional travel, I thought about the dreams when we are doing in our sleep. And what do you think about can be emotional travel?
Can be emotional travel. We can see easily like this. Dreams is are very important in the human life. When you have a dream, you expose lots of things about you without saying something with your mouth. Dreams reflecting your life, your hidden life, your secret lives, your things, thoughts about your experience, your past, your yesterday, your beginning of life, and your planning about the future. The face you recognize, the face you not recognize, about everything is including of your consistent the new stories about your life created in your dreams, I guess. So dreams was very important element for me to select my art themes so far. So I feel that the emotions, objects, and also charm things that I see and appearing on my mind before sleeping, whenever I was waking, after the awakening, I feel that I see that there is a new composition has been occurred in my mind. I'm ready for a new works. So I wonder what kind of stories will be happen in mind of the other peoples, especially Mongolian peoples and Mongolian peoples, their own life. So I was wondering this, so I captured this name for this exhibition.
Okay, thank you very much. It's really interesting. And also I would like to ask another interesting question, that when I was looking through your biography, in your first 40s, you decided to be an artist. And how was it to left your lawyer career and start another? In 40s, it's really a difficult decision, I guess.
Actually, I didn't left my lawyer professional life. I'm following and I'm doing at the two type of professional life at the same time. It was very hard, so difficult, but I believe that one side feed another sides. Actually, I'm doing my art interest, and my interest starts my secondary school times. Comes from the secondary school since my 5 years old or 6 years old. From my childhood, I started paintings. I did some drawings, sketches, or some paintings before my secondary school education, and I follow up my arts evaluation until my university life. Then I need to stop my artworks when I started law education, because depending on these days conditions, I choose the education of the law education. Maybe I might be choose for art education, but I didn't choose for the reason of their conditions, my own conditions, as valid for these days. But I never give up my thinking about art, even though I'm working on my lawyer career. I was working for a bank for many years. I used to be chief legal counsel of used to be chief legal counsel of a very huge Turkish commercial bank. I worked for this bank about 15 years. But depending on the intensive working life conditions, I couldn't spare my time for intensively doing my art. But when I was leaving the bank and starting my own practice about last 10 years, I could find much more time for interesting about my art, and I again start following my art life, and I joined an art center, an art business center, an art gallery in Istanbul, to decide to intensively work on and hardly work on about my art career. And from now on, I'm very intensively work about my art paintings. At the same time, I'm following and continuing to do my lawyer business professional life at the same time. I love two of them. It was like two children of a father. You never give up one of them. You can never put one profession to over than another one. It is very important for me, and I can never give up any one of them to all in my whole life. I would like to do at the same time with my two business at the same time.
That's perfect example, mixing your career and also your hobby, or how to say, your talent.
I think that it's my talent also, but talent is not enough actually.
To pursue something.
Pursue something is very important. Working about is very important. Talent is not enough itself. You must pursue your talent. You must think about how can you develop your talent. How can you do something different from the others? How can you plan your career in future? It's very important in the progress of an artist, I guess. At the same time, I believe that whenever I blocked in any part of my business life, for example, I faced some trouble in my lawyer life and legal life, for example, I can find a solution in my art sites. If I block it in my art sites, I can find another solution. I can relax in my lawyer sites. So two type of life is feed each other. Then it's helped me to following at the same time two business.
In Mongolia also we have a phrase that to succeed your dream, you have to have 1% of talent and 99% to pursue your talent.
Okay, I guess people, if they really want them, they can do this. I follow this philosophy.
Great. Then let's continue our talk about your painter's career, and how did you start your painting career from now you are working in abstract?
Yes.
And how did you start working from abstract or in other figurative paintings or in other types of paintings?
In the earlier stage of my art career, I do as most of painters like this do this. I do classic arts. For example, landscapes, figure works, naturemorts, as usual as the most artists do this. So whenever I reach at some point, I decided that this type of typical classical art style was not make me happy. So how can I be happy with my art? And suddenly I feel that I need the relaxation and freedom. So whenever I try to do abstract art, I feel that yes, I get gain of my relaxation and much more freedom than the other classical styles. Then I decided I have to do furthermore abstract art. When I doing abstract art, I feel me much more flexible because in the classical art, but I don't want to mean that the classical art is not important. Of course, also it is important, but depend on your own personality. According to my own personality, abstract art is good for me, good for my emotion. It was good for my emotion. It was good for my feeling about freedom, about relaxations. I can create everything without limited for any reason. For example, if you're working about a classical style, for example, you are doing a figure. You have to follow up some classical rules about doing figure. You have the rule about doing about landscape. For example, this is a case, this is a glass. You have to do this glass, but you can explain this glass for another styles, for another techniques, for another things. It means abstraction. Then, when I do abstraction, I feel much more relaxed. I'm much more freedom than using my own classical styles. Then, about 10 years ago, I decided I have to do my own way. I have to find my own way, and when I find my own way in abstract style. So since 2009, I was working about on my abstract works on my career. It will be good for me. I was very successful in my abstract works.
And also it was really interesting that you are using a spatula to have a painting and not using a brush.
No, I wasn't using a brush. Of course, I was brush at the first stage of my career, but when I discovered using the spatula, I feel much more freedom. Really, this is very important thing to me for feel yourselves as a freedom. When you feel yourself free, you can create much more good things than the other styles.
That's great, and I'm very happy to have an interview with you. I think that you're a great example for people to pursue your talent, to pursue your dream, and to feel your freedom. And everything you are talking about is just giving you a freedom.
Yes, freedom is very important. If you limit it from some things, you can not do as a result of that will be happy you, or that will be happy to another people's.
Thank you very much. And it's the very best way to live your best life.
Yes, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much for coming and accepting my request to have an interview.
And thank you very much again for your such kind of interview.
Wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
So that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next time with more interesting guests and with more interesting subjects. See you next time. Goodbye.